I want my theme song back. Make that a priority. I like those, but here's the thing: I can do it, but it's gonna cost me $20. I'm gonna have to get a subscription to. I don't. Not for one. I'm not. No, not for one video. So maybe somebody else could do it for me. Maybe you got a video editor and you can help me with it. Maybe somebody. No. All right. All right. We're going to talk about the four agreements today. This is not really AA literature, but it's one of those things where it's kind of a self-help thing, but we don't do that here, right? We don't do things by ourselves. This is not. This is a help yourself program, not a self-help program. Um, Couple of reminders, real quick. I know that you may not like AA, and that's okay. You don't need to like AA. There's a lot of different routes. There are a lot of different routes, man. But don't go bashing AA to get your point across. I just saw one company, they're like trying to start, they're doing some good, and this guy comes along, says AA is a religious cult that, here are some other ones, and even Celebrate Recoveries in there. I'm like, you know what? They're closer to a cult than so. I was gonna say something, and I thought, you know what? Not my business. None of my business, man. I don't even bother to take time. But the first rule of sales is don't bash the competition. That's the first rule of sales. Now here's the problem. It's not competition. It's not competition. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm a lot of things. I'm not just an alcoholic, but I do have alcoholism. I do. I have a couple mental illnesses, and you know, things like the four agreements helps me with these things because they're quick little reminders, quick little reminders, right? And so let's get into them. This isn't gonna be too long. I'm just kind of eating up some time. What I don't want is my brain doing any work right now. No, this work does not require my brain. I've been doing it for too long. Um, yeah, um, but I like it because then everything's natural for me. You know, I don't. All I really prepare before I come here. I probably should do a little bit more preparation from here on out with using my stuff like the captions and things like that. These are captions. So, and I have a ticker too, but everybody hates the ticker. I don't like the ticker. Here, I'll show you what the ticker looks like. Nobody likes it. All right. So I think it's funny because I Googled it, right? And it says, what are the four agreements of life? And I just have the four here. And then it says, what are the four agreements of AA? And it's the same one. Okay, no, don't start doing that. Do not do that. That shouldn't even be there. There are no four agreements of AA. No, don't add. Okay, simple. Keep things where they're supposed to be. Is this recovery? If you want it to be, but this is life. All right, let's start. But for us, for me as an arrested alcoholic, I've got to go the extra step than other people around me. I've got to take an extra step. I've got to do the next thing. Always. If God does something good in your life, double down. Go out and do it again. That's double downing. Number one is be impeccable with your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Okay. I'm the kind of person where if I miss something with you, I'm going to tell you the reason why. Because I feel bad for missing it, but I ain't going to lie to you. Okay. Last couple of days, I've had to tell people, hey, I've been dealing with some med stuff. And you know what? They're professionals too. And it's a professional world, but I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie because that lie is going to do me no good. Transparency. I've got to be transparent, man. When it comes to money, oh, I'm very, very transparent. Right? I've dealt with too many salespeople to not be transparent. Even when I was in sales, when I was the boss, I said, this is 100% of the money. There's no more. I promise you, this is 100% of it. And this is how it's going to be divided up. Period. Transparent. I take care of this, you take care of that, right? Good. We're going to put that in a contract and we're going to sign it. Right? I've always been that way, which is probably why I failed at sales. It's not how you do it. If you want to make a lot of money in sales, you're going to need to learn to be greedy, or it's going to be very tough. Don't take anything personally. This is probably my hardest one. Other people's actions towards you. Oh no. Oh no. All right. I found that that situation usually happens because one of a few reasons. Either number one, I've done something to get that reaction from them. That'd be the first thing that comes to my mind. Okay, did I do something? And I can cover that pretty quick, right? Because I do a 10-step a lot. Okay, have I done nothing in this situation? No, I haven't. Okay, what's the next thing? They probably really love me, so they're taking it out on me instead of somebody else. That doesn't quite fit, right? But I can tell you now, it doesn't have to do with me. I was just the end result. I was the person that got and I can go through those things. Now, let's say I did do something, then I need to make an amend. I need to bring it to justice. Their feelings are their own fucking problem, though. Why? Don't take anything personally. Just keep your side of the street clean. Okay. It's hard. Okay. Because you're going to want to save other people's feelings. I want to too. I'm a fucking codependent. Okay, I am. And codependency comes with empathy. It's part of the deal. Okay. It's part of the deal. So don't take anything personally, man. Um, you know, what other people think of you, you know, I've covered that. I care what people think of me, but I don't care what everybody thinks of me. I'll give you a good example. Uh, my children. I care what my children think of me. Why? Because I want them to grow up with a good life. That's why. Okay. Adams County. I don't care what they think of me. I deal with fact. And the facts are this. Da, 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 da. And I can say this was the fact and it was wrong. And you know it. So let's do something. He said you could do something. We're waiting. All right. Don't make assumptions. Whoo, we alcoholics. That's where resentments come from. Don't assume, presume. Like, what's the difference between that? Well, the difference is between making an ass out of you and me. Now, when people say, when you assume you make an ass out of you and me, no, it's your action. You did not make an ass out of me. I'm not jumping in your little fucking game. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay. When I write something, I use the word presume. It's presumptuous. I know that this is what I'm thinking, but it could be wrong. Please correct me. It's more of a please advise. I don't quite understand. Please advise. I presume you're going to be here at 3. That's what I'm kind of expecting. Am I right? I'm assuming you will be here at 3. See, that's the difference between a request and a demand. That's the difference between an assumption and a presumption, is a demand. Oh, okay. Now, for the most part, I do things for people without any expectation of return. That's what I do for the most part. But there are parts of my life where things need to be, everybody needs to kind of be for it. Okay. There's sometimes when I'm like, okay, like with my podcast, I'm gonna bring you on and I'm gonna come onto your show. And that's the agreement. And then they disappear. This has happened to me quite often. I don't do it anymore. I don't share podcasting anymore like that because their intentions, their expectations may be different than mine. So, I let them go on their merry way. It's okay. Always do your best. Always do your best. You know, um, some days are going to be harder than others. It's funny. Okay, so my sponsor, Daryl, right? So he sends me this thing, and I sent this to him a year ago, and it says, you'll have bad days, you'll have good days, bad days, overwhelming days, too tired days, I'm awesome days, I can't go on days, and every day you'll still show up. And I wrote, and there's nothing wrong with a show up and breathe in and out day. I wrote that 3 years ago today. And what he was doing was reminding me, hey, Dion, see how this matches. See how what we talked about the other day goes along with this. And you are this person that some days you're only going to be able to do steps 1, 2, and 3. That's all I'm doing today. I'm feeling a lot better, but that doesn't mean I should put more on myself right now. I'm doing things very simple today, and it is one thing at a time right now. After this, I'm going to plan on getting to the church for the meeting, and that's all I'll be doing. That's what I've been doing. Okay, Dion, all I need to do is just send this email, and then I was done with that. I'm like, okay, I've got another little email I need, and just these little things, and it's helped me stay in my lane today. It's helped me with my attitude. I got some exciting news earlier. I think it's pretty neat, but I'm not excited. It is what it is. I'm happy about it. But what happens in my excitement is the expectations. I'll start to what if it. Well, and then I'll start to determine what it needs to look like. And that ain't gonna fly. That it won't work. That will fail. I know because I've tried that before. Okay, but God has been telling me to get back to my podcasting, and I've been bouncing it off other people too. Not I haven't just been taking my word for it. Okay. But somebody reached out and said, okay, Dion, I'm ready. Let's do the podcasting. They want to pay me for it. I'm talking to Sobriety House. And at the end, I'm like, there's one thing I do that I haven't talked to you about. I'm a podcaster. I've got over 100 recovery stories. I have over 1,800 videos on recovery. Yeah. I got what you need. Now, why am I doing this? Okay. And when I wrote her, I was very clear because there's going to be money involved. Okay. Now I told them I am willing to do this for you. But the catch is that I'm going to be looking for sponsorship. That's the catch, to pay for the show and to pay me. Okay. Put that out. I'm like, what do you think about that? They may come back and say, well, we don't really quite want to do it that way. We want to pay for it ourselves. Okay, great. Okay. But I don't have to hide that. I could be impeccable with my word because money is going to be involved, and I'm not going to pay for their podcast, no matter how cheap. I'm going to do the work, but I'm not going to spend my wife's money. That ain't happening. So, all right, let's cover those again. Let's not, because I already put it away. All right. So what was it? Be impeccable with your word. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. Don't forget, we got I'm going to do that next. I'm going to put out the meeting for tonight. All right. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. Oh, fuck. I got to get out of here, actually. I love you. Peace out and have a day. Bye bye.